Well, getting elected in this state costs money.
And efforts to talk to a well-known medical pot advocate seem to be going up in smoke. Joining us over Skype with these stories is Sarah Lynn from Civil Beat. We say good morning to you, Sarah.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, good. We're looking ahead to the election in 2012, and you're doing that by going back in time and looking back at how much money it costs for those to get into higher office. What can you tell us?
Well, we looked at what happened in the last election, and we found that candidates running for the state legislature raked in nearly $5 million in total contributions, and they spent just about as much. And this is according to the Hawaii Campaign Spending Commission. But if you delve more into the numbers, it really shows that money talks when it comes to legislative seats. Winning House candidates raised and spent an average of $40,000 for their campaigns, and meanwhile, winning Senate candidates raised about an $86,000. Now, the losing House candidate, $10,000, and the losing Senate candidate spent about $14,000. So really, there's a huge difference between the winners and losers in both of those types of races.
So it's one of those cases where money really does count when it comes to politics.
It does, and if you'd like me, I can highlight some of the folks who raised the most amount. On the House side, you have Democratic Representative Carl Rhodes. He represents Chinatown downtown. He spent the most out of anybody in the House, $105,000 on his winning bid to beat out David Chang, who raised also among the most, $96,000. Now, on the Senate side, it's Senator Donovan Dela Cruz, who was topping the money raised there, $237,000 spent on his winning campaign.
Wow, some big numbers there.
And Sarah, let's talk about Roger Christie. He's the Big Island marijuana minister. He's now in prison right now, awaiting charges on federal drug charges. What's the latest with him? I know you guys have been trying to get some information, but haven't been getting anywhere so far.
It's really one of the oddest stories. I mean, we are used to in this government, a transparent government, having criminal cases play out in the open. But that just really hasn't been the case with Roger Christie. For him, marijuana is a religious sacrament. He says he's exercising his constitutional biblical right to enjoy marijuana. We wanted to do an update, find out why he's still in lockup, but it just wasn't as easy as you might think. No one involved in the case would speak to us about him. The assistant U.S. attorney prosecuting the case wouldn't return calls. Christie's own federal public defender, same thing from them. We even tried to visit the U.S. attorney herself and went down to the office, left handwritten letters. Nobody would answer and seems to be interested in telling us why he's about to spend his second Christmas in lockup without any chance to bail out.
And he's not being allowed bail because they deemed him a danger to society.
A threat, yes. They did. They were saying that, his ministry was really a front for a much more sinister pot-selling operation, that he was selling sacraments for donations, and donations was a code word for sale, for example. But it's just really odd because they did arrest more than just himself, and they've let everybody out, but they say that, as he was the ringleader, he's really the one threat to society, and he can't be let out.
Well, we can't wait to hear more details about it because it is a really interesting story. Sarah Lynn from Civil Beat, thanks for joining us. And you can find the complete story that we just discussed on civilbeat.com. We'll be right back. It is 6:39.